Hi Taurus, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So this will be your love and spirituality reading for the month of October, and this will be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I will also be doing an extended video, and I will leave the link to that in the description box down below. So when I was shuffling for you earlier, I did get the Two of Cups, so I got heavy soulmate energy, and I also got an energy of somewhat confusion. It feels like a lot of you are in a soulmate situation where you kind of have rose-colored glasses on. So it's kind of like you can't really decide if this person is good for you or bad for you. So things are kind of just stuck in the middle because you can't make a decision one way or another. For some of you, I was picking up that you may have a decision to make between two people. Or what I was also getting is that you may have a decision to make between you and that person, meaning that this person may not be good for you, and it's like at this point you may be betraying yourself in order to please that person. So some of you are needing to choose, are you going to choose yourself or are you going to choose that person over your own well-being? So a lot of messages came out early for you, so let's shuffle and see what's going on, Taurus. I know the Venus retrograde is hitting me very hard. Taurus in my first house. So the energy has just been really kind of off and exhausting. A lot of reflection when it comes to relationships and the relationship we have with ourselves mostly. So let's see Taurus for the past. The Death card in reverse. The King of Swords. Some of you are dealing with an air sign. Six of Pentacles. So the Death card in reverse, and then the Star card at the bottom of the deck. The Death card in reverse talks about the things in life that we really don't want to let go of, even though they are no longer good for us. It reminds me of like the energy I'm getting from this is like old food. Like when you go into the refrigerator and there's like this really old food in there that you have in a Tupperware bowl, and you're kind of just trying to decide like, is it that old? Like, can I eat it? Like, that's the weird metaphor I'm getting in my head right now, the weird analogy. Like, it's kind of like something that is on the verge of going bad, and you're trying to figure out if you should keep it or if you should throw it away because it's on the verge of going sour. And it's like, it's like you know that it's best to just throw it out if you know that, you know, it's a possibility that it might be going sour. It's best to not consume it. So I feel like that's the energy. That's a really weird analogy. That's the energy that I'm getting, but it's for an actual situation. It's like an actual situation is on the verge of going rotten or is on the verge of just turning into something really bad, and you know that you have to let it go, but you still kind of have your nose in it, and you're still kind of sniffing it like, shoot, do I have to throw it away? Like, is it that bad? And I feel like deep down inside you know that it's that bad. For a lot of you, with the Star card being in, some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius or an air sign in general, with the Star card being in reverse and the Ten of Swords being in reverse, it's like you're just putting your own healing on hold. It's like something you know inevitably you have to heal from, or that you're going to have to dive into in terms of pain or betrayal or something that has happened that you know eventually you're going to have to dive into and you're going to have to feel it. But it's like you're prolonging the pain. So some of you could be holding on to a situation just so you won't have to go through that, you know, that period of withdrawal. Like when you go through a breakup or you go through walking away from something that you put a lot of energy into, you go through that withdrawal period where you have to really feel the pain. So some of you could be holding on to the situation just so you don't have to grieve it and you don't have to feel it, is what I'm seeing. For some of you, the situation might not be something that needs to end. It might be something that needs to transform. So you still kind of have to let the situation go in order for it to transform and to return as a better version of whatever the connection is. And this can go for romance, this can go for friendships, career, so take it as it resonates. The King of Swords being here in the center, like I said, that could be an air sign that you are dealing with. But I feel like this is somebody, because the Knight of Cups comes up at the bottom of the deck, I feel like this is somebody who offers you their heart, is what I'm hearing, or what am I getting? I'm getting like, it's someone who may not open up to people that easily, but they did open up to you, so they made you feel special in a way. This could be genuine for some of you, meaning that this person could genuinely have opened up and given you their heart, but this also could be manipulation as well. Like it could be someone who, it's like they're clearly emotionally unavailable, so they kind of open up to you in spurts. Like they give you a little bit of their love and affection, and then they kind of draw back. Then they give you a little bit more, then they kind of draw back. So for some of you, like I said, it was a genuine situation where someone opened up to you emotionally, and that made you feel very special, and it made you feel like you want to hold on to them. But then it's then it's some of you who it was a manipulation tactic where it's like they only open up a little bit just to keep you hooked. So be very careful of that. Be also very careful of the energy of trying to save people or trying to be the person to open someone up just so you can feel special, because the King of Swords can represent the energy of someone who is very emotionally closed off, and they think with their logic, they don't think with their emotions, so they can turn their heart completely off and just think with their heads. And sometimes that type of person can be very appealing, because it's like we want to be the person to open them up so that we can feel special, so that we can help them, we can save them, we can fix them, like that sort of energy. So be very careful of that as well, because that never usually ends well, and that usually brings you into a loop and in a cycle that's hard to get out of, because once you kind of fix your eyes on that goal of opening someone up, it's kind of difficult to pull back, and it's kind of difficult to get out of, because you just have your sights set on getting that love for them or getting that validation from them. So be very careful of this, because it can turn into an ego thing where it's like you don't even want the person anymore. It's like you forgot now that you don't even want the person. It's all about the goal now. It's all about getting them to open up. It's all about that validation, because now your ego is bruised because they're not giving you the affection that you want. And the Six of Pentacles, again, that just kind of verifies what I just said. The Six of Pentacles is a card of, in the traditional tarot, it's a card of imbalance. It's a card of, I feel like I have to bring out the traditional tarot card to show you. And I usually don't get guided to do this, but that's what I'm being guided to do. So the Six of Pentacles, let me grab my traditional deck. Okay, this is the Six of Pentacles in the traditional tarot deck, and you can see the imbalance, one person getting more than the other person. So like I said, this could be someone who was kind of stingy with their emotions, and there is an imbalance, and you could be getting the short end of the stick here. So just be mindful of this energy, because like I said, it's easy to fall into that when you're dealing with a King of Swords person who is so logic based that you just want to open them up. You just want their heart, and you're constantly offering to them because you want to open them up with the Knight of Pentacles. Because the Knight of Pentacles is a card of offering somebody something long-term and stable. Some of you are actually dealing with someone who they go about relationships the right way, meaning that they take things slowly and they think with their logic, and for that reason you can build something healthy and stable with them. I feel like I'm talking to two different groups of people, but I feel like you'll know the difference. Like you'll know the difference between someone who's manipulating the situation and who it now has become a power struggle versus someone who just wants to take it slow and build a friendship so that it can be solid. So I do feel like I'm picking up on two different groups here. So let's see here. I'm getting that some of you could be dealing with somebody who's very religious. That might be for a specific person or a specific few of you. The person that you're dealing with could be someone who's very religious, and that could be causing kind of a problem in your connection as well. Not sure how, but that's the message that I got. So let's pull for your present energy. Yeah, I keep on hearing church. So some of you could have met this person in church, or you go to church with them, or there's something involving a church here. I'm not really sure. It's a very vague message, but it might be for someone specific. So the Ten of Wands is in the present. The Chariot. And the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups, I feel like I need to move this down. The Seven of Cups is a card that talks about not being able to make your mind up and not knowing what you want. And I did get that earlier when I was pulling for you as well. I got the Magician card in reverse. So that card usually means, when it's in the reverse, that you can't make up your mind about what it is precisely that you want. Like your kind of scattered energy is causing you to, how do I explain it? It's like, I said this in one of my other videos, that when you are trying to, let's say you're trying to move to a different city, right? And you can't decide between, you know, moving to Los Angeles or moving to Houston. And because you can't decide, that means you don't move anywhere because you have not decided which direction you want to go in. And that's how manifestation works. You have to get very specific about what you want, or else that energy cancels out and then you get nothing. So I feel like you are kind of confused or unclear about what it is that you want, and that's why things are at a standstill. And that could also be that person as well. Both of you could actually be in this confusing energy is what I'm getting. I do feel a little bit, I'm getting like dizzy a little bit and like nauseous. So some of you could be experiencing that. Like this situation could be stressing you out to the point where it's giving you like gastro problems, making you nauseous, making you feel kind of dizzy. I just feel like maybe it's not literally that you feel dizzy. Maybe it's I'm feeling dizzy because it's trying to send the message across to me that your head is almost spinning because of the options that you have, like the confusion that you're in. So this person could be turning you in circles. It's kind of like, you know, when you spin around, like as a kid, when you're on, what are those things in the playground where you like sit down and they like spin you around on it and you get extremely dizzy and almost sick. I feel like for some of you, that's the type of thing that's going on within your love life, like within your romantic relationship. It could be someone who's just causing you a lot of confusion. So that's a very heavy energy that I just picked up. Hopefully most of you are not in that energy. If that is you and you are feeling very confused by a situation, it is best to put that situation away. Like it's best to walk away from it, because anybody who's keeping you in a state of confusion like that, I feel like it's intentional. No one keeps you that confused for that long of a time unless they are trying to hide something from you, or unless they are trying to keep you stuck on them, you know, like in a manipulative type of way. So be careful of that. The Chariot in reverse, again, is talking about stagnation. Like I said, with this King of Swords person, you could feel like you're not making progress with them. Like there's very stagnant energy here. Because there's confusion. You can't have anything moving forward when there's confusion. I feel like I need to bring out the traditional Seven of Cups card again. Because I need you guys to see like what I'm seeing in my head. The traditional Seven of Cups card looks like this. So you see there's a bunch of different options. It's even focused in a bunch of confusion. So that's what this Seven of Cups card is representing. A bunch of different options and like a lot of different offers on the table. Some of you could have multiple offers from multiple people, but there's like that one person that you want to invest in. Like even though you have a bunch of options, or you know you could have options, it's still like this one person that you want to invest in. Yeah, it's just, I hope this is resonating. I'm getting a lot of conflicting, confusing energy. The Ten of Wands is also here in the reverse. So some of you are not ready to put this down yet. Like some of you are not ready to let this go with the Ten of Wands. But I feel like you don't really have a choice because it's becoming a bit overwhelming. So you're going to be kind of forced to put it down because it's becoming too much. Let me read the Chariot card in reverse here, because it is in the center, so I usually read the center card. The Chariot in reverse, it says, perhaps you fear the changes ahead despite knowing how important they are. Know that you can take your time, there is no rush. Repeat the mantra, I make all preparations for my great flight into new realms. So some of you, I feel like some of you, even though the guidebook is saying not to rush or take your time, I feel like some of you have been in this stagnant energy for a bit too long, and it might be time for you to make a decision, or it might be time for you to address whatever the situation is, like address it with the person and have a talk with them and tell them that it's time for them to make a decision, something along those lines. But I just feel like a very stagnant energy because there's a lot of confusion, so there may be some communication that needs to take place. And that doesn't mean to push the issue, but it means to communicate what your thoughts are in order to figure out which direction you're moving in. And how the person responds will let you know exactly how you should respond, you know, like how they express the way they feel about you is an indication of how you should treat them moving forward. Let me see if I'm getting anything else from that. Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, I feel like you're still with this person because you're still in communication, because for a lot of the signs, it's like the person is somebody from their past that's kind of like the situation's replaying in their head. And I feel like that could be the energy for some of you, but for a lot of you, you're actually still in communication with this person. And that's why the Ten of Wands is in reverse. So let's pull for the future outcome card. So if there's any confusion or stagnation, like I said, it needs to be nipped in the bud, because I feel like it is affecting your health. It can start to affect your health if it isn't already. So that's definitely not good. That's something that needs to be handled. immediately. And that other person, it seems like they may be just as confused as you, or it's like they need to stay in control in some way with that. So the king, them coming up as the King of Swords, and then them having the Chariot in reverse right under it. That's a person who needs to stay in control at all times. So they'll keep a situation stuck, just because it makes them feel more in control. You know, just because they don't have to make a decision at the moment, and it makes them feel more in control. So make sure, if that's the case, or you're dealing with somebody like that, you nip that in the bud, because no, you can't deal with that for too much longer. So let's see what the future outcome says, and we will look at that in the extended. Four of Wands. So some of you could be twin flames. Oh goodness! Wow, that card just flew out. So some of you could be twin flames. With the Four of Wands coming up here, I usually associate that with the twin flame card. It could also be talking about a home environment, something involving a home environment that might be not coming to a close. Like I said, I don't really tap into this energy until I get to the extended, so I can't really say exactly what it means. But like I said, the Four of Wands card overall, I do read it as twin flame energy. The Empress card also flew out. It kind of flew out sideways though, so I'm not really going to take it. But this is your card. This card does represent Venus, which is your ruling planet as a Taurus. So with it being sideways, that could mean that things could go either really right or really left within these next couple of weeks. So we will clarify that in the extended. And let's pull one more. The Justice card in reverse. Okay, so I feel like, because the Justice card is also the Libra card, so with the Empress card coming up sideways and the Justice card coming right next to it, I feel like this could be talking about moving into Libra season. But like I said, I won't know for sure, because I'm not really getting the energy of someone doing someone wrong in the near future. I'm feeling this is representing Libra season for some reason, or this is representing Libra energy, but I won't know until I pull, until I clarify in the extended. So thank you guys for watching. I will leave the link to the extended video down below, and yeah, I will see you guys over on Vimeo. Bye.